Ever since you found me, we the only thing I see. Forever and a day, it's you and me, and they can't replicate this unity. No pressure, I can see them watching and they try to do better, but you one in a million, you ain't average. Girl, I promise I'ma have you living lavish. Take a trip, girl, we're about to vanish. 'Cause I'll go anywhere, anywhere, just as long as you with me. 'Cause girl, I know that you get me, so I'll go anywhere. 'Cause I'll go, so I'll go anywhere. 'Cause I'll go, so I'll go. I don't even care.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Honey.
It's your boy, Boy.
And we are back with a continuation of our last video.
Part 2, baby. The story continues.
Look at this weather we're having. Snow. Spring has sprung and we're seeing snow. Can you believe it, Bear?
I really can't believe it.
Alright, guys. So we left off just letting you guys know that Star was sick. And then the next day he was like super attached to me. I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, I couldn't go anywhere without him being like right on my arse. So the day he was really sick was Thursday. Friday he was starting to feel better. And then Saturday comes along. And I decided that I'm gonna take Star to the movies with his cousins. And I was like, you know what, it's basically the last day of March break. Like, let's just go out and go to the movies and, like, you know what I mean? Like, just have some fun.
Did we do swimming that day? I think we did swimming on the Saturday.
Did we?
Yeah. We did swimming on the Saturday.
And he
at
was
12. We got there actually early.
Oh yeah. It wasn't a good class at all, right? It wasn't that good.
It was alright.
It was alright.
It was alright. It was whatever. But we got there a little bit early. An hour early actually. And he was showing symptoms of being grumpy. Mm-hmm. You know, it was his nap time. Yeah, it was his nap time. So we're like, okay, we're gonna make this work. He still was being clingy to Honey.
Mm-hmm. He was whining.
He's whining.
He was running up and down the like aisle and just like pouting.
He was just being a little grumps. So then we left, took a nap, brought him upstairs. He was knocked out. Mm-hmm. Then Honey was like, okay, we want to go to the movies. We might go to the movies, whatever it is. It was tough because he was sleeping.
But the movie started at 7. Needed to be out of the house by 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, I was playing it close, so you can tell them.
So Star woke up at like 6:10 and I was like, okay, he's already dressed, whatever. I have all his stuff prepped, ready to go. I go upstairs, I get him, and I'm like, all right, sorry, we gotta go. And he's like, at this point, he's whining. Every time he wakes up now, he's whining. So, and crying. So I just get him in the car. The entire way to the movie theater, this kid cried. Mm-hmm. We get to the movie theater, he sees his cousins, he doesn't want anything to do with anybody, not talking to anybody, would not let me put him down. I had to hold him in my arms. We got our popcorn, and then we go into the theater. And this is where I just sit him down. He's actually like excited to be there. Start giving him some popcorn, candy, things like that. And he's happy, he's good. He loved the movie, everything went amazing. By the end of it, they were all high on sugar and they were having a blast. So we leave the theater and we go, the theater's in a mall. So the mall is empty, obviously, because it's closed. It was like a late movie. At this point, it was probably like 8:30. So the kids start running around, they're chasing each other, Star's laughing, like it was such a good time for them. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Star comes up to me crying and basically like wanted up. So I pick him up and he starts yelling at the top of his lungs. Never ever heard a sound like this come from Star. And he's like touching his back kind of like, owie, owie, like, and just yelling. And then he's like kind of resisting me. So I put him down and then no, he's screaming, wants back up. So I pick him back up, screaming. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, what is happening right now? So we're like, let's take off his jacket, whatever. And then all of a sudden he just like, his whole body just goes limp and he starts like, just like closing his eyes and like falling. Like, to me at the time, I wasn't thinking about sleep. I was just like, he's passing out. I'm like, we need to call 911. He's like burning up. It was just a nightmare. And I'm like, Star, like stay with me. Like I was like gonna give him like mouth to mouth, like all this. And meanwhile, my girlfriend is on the phone with 911 and she's like, and then out of nowhere, she was like, wait, I think he's just falling asleep. I'm like FaceTiming Bull. I'm like, something happened to Star. Like guys, it was a fucking nightmare. And then she's like, I really think he's just falling asleep. And I was like, no, like his whole body went like limp in my arms. Bull's like, I told you so. Like, you should have never brought him out, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the ambulance comes, they check him out. All his vitals are fine. They were basically just like, the only reason that we are concerned is because like his body went limp. Like, that's concerning, you know, and like he wasn't like responding to me. Like it was like I couldn't like get him up. They were just like, okay, well, you can either come to the hospital with us or you can go on your own time, like get him checked out or something. But yeah, he's fine. As of right now, he's fine. So they were like, it could have been like a seizure. But then, so I take him home, everything's fine, he falls asleep, whatever. Next day, so miserable. This kid was, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to say? Anything to add?
Yeah. So, guys, she calls me. I'm on the other end of the phone. I'm chilling. I have a big training run to do the next day. In the back of my mind, I was like, you could go to the movies tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to rush and go to movies. Our child's sleeping right now, and he's grumpy. I told her all of this already. He's gonna cry the whole way. He's gonna be grumpy. She still persisted to go out and do this. So when she called me, she's like, oh my gosh, something happened to Star. Like, da-da-da-da. My heart's just racing, you know what I mean? I'm like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know. Da-da-da-da. The ambulance is coming. I'm panicking. I'm worried. I'm a whirlwind of emotions are going through my body at this moment, you know? And then after, when she explains the situation to me slightly over the phone and briefly over the phone, and then when she came home, I'm like, you know the kid's been sick for like the past 4 or 5 days, and he's been in and out of sleep. Like, he fell asleep while we're going for walks. Like, when Star is tired, like extremely tired, worn out, like sometimes if we're driving in the car, he'll just be like this, drooling, like lifeless. Or there's been plenty of times where he's been like super fatigued on vacation or at home, and while he's eating, he's literally dropping
and
asleep.
Guys, I hear all that, and obviously I take all that into account, but the reason that I was like, there's no way he just fell asleep like this is because it was extremely different behavior. Because I was like, he just slept for 3 hours. Like, how could he possibly be tired right now? The way that he was yelling, it was so out of character for him, because he has, like, yes, he's been showing little signs of crankiness, but normally he's so happy. Like, I open his door in the morning, he has this big smile on his face. Like, he's not really like a yeller and a crier. Like, what he's going through right now is like totally like erratic behavior, and it just happened like a switch. So it hadn't been happening like this, but since then it's just been a shit show. So the next day,
yeah, so the next day I have a big run. The family comes. We have footage of that. You guys will see that.
It's your boy, baby Star. Tickle tickles. I just tickle tickles. Say hi, guys. Hi. I just brushed out his hair because we are waiting in the car. Bull has a very, very long run. This morning was off to a rough start. I'm gonna wait for Bull to kind of tell you guys like what's been going on and just the trials and tribulations of having a toddler. And also last night the craziest thing happened, so I will tell you guys that story as well. I took Star, would you like some water? I took Star in the stroller and I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be great. Like, we'll just go for a nice long walk. I'll walk like 5K, whatever. Yeah, no, fail. Star was in his car seat crying, and then he wanted out of his car seat. Here. Banana? Here. No, thank you. Anyways, so he was in his car seat or in his stroller, and everything was going fine. We were just walking along. It was great. But then the wind was hitting us, and he started getting upset. And then I was like, he kept throwing his blanket on the floor. So I'm like, do you want to walk? He's like, yes, he wants to walk. So we get out and we go to walk, and he's literally having a meltdown at the park because he wants me to pick him up. And I'm like, I'm not picking you up. It's either you're in the stroller or you're walking. And yeah, he didn't let up. He didn't stop. So now we're sitting in the car and I did not get my walk on. So look who's back in the building. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh, hey, y'all. What up? I'm just dealing with my 5-year-old baby. Oh, yeah, okay. Shh, say hi. Look at his afro. Nice and soft.
How was your run, Bull?
It was good, y'all. I'll talk to you guys after this.
Okay, guys. Thought that was gonna be more exciting for you, but we're going out to eat right now, and we will chat soon. Oh my god. Right now, guys. Wow.
She's like, yeah, me and Star were just gonna go for a long walk. I'm like, I'm running for 3 hours. The weather is terrible. It's cold, it's windy. Like, this weather, a mess. But she being a good person that she is, she's like, yo, no, we're gonna be out there. We'll be out there to support you. I'll go for a walk, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Family support's good. They get going. Starts crying.
15 minutes in, this kid is owie, this, that, his foot is owie, he doesn't want the blanket on him, he's throwing the blanket off, he's throwing his mittens off.
I'm literally like running by them. I just have my music blasting and I just see his nose running, she's struggling, but I'm like, I'm locked in on my run right now. Like, let's just get this done.
He was in the stroller. He wanted out of the stroller, so I take him out of the stroller. But the only reason he wanted out of the stroller was for me to pick him up. Like right now, he wants me to pick him up all the time, and he will not give up. Like he will like stay at my leg, and I'm like, no, Star, I'm not picking you up right now. You have to walk. You're a big boy, you know. Like I have the stroller, I have this, I have the blanket, I have like so many things in my hands. Like, do you know how hard it is to carry a freaking 30-pound baby and push a stroller? It's not easy.
This is a random thought too, but I was talking to one of my homeboys yesterday and he has a daughter as well, and he was like, it's crazy because when you have your child in school, they're there for what, 8 hours out of the day almost, basically 8, 9, 10, and then 7 hours out of the day, then they come home, the commute, get them ready. We're technically with our child max 4 hours. Max 4 to 5 hours, like while he's in school. So he was like, yo, you have to, like, whatever you guys agree on as parents, you have to like stick to that, because other people, there's other influences that have way more of effect on your child than you do, because he's out the house longer. So he's spending time at school longer than he's at home, technically, and awake and being active. You know what I mean? So it's like, if he's seeing other kids act like a baby at school and doing this and doing that, and we don't break those habits out of him, it's just going to continue to happen because he's being influenced by it, because he's seeing it so often on a day-to-day. And yesterday when I was walking him to school, I heard a parent and the child, like I heard the child like making the exact same sound that Star's been making, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, it's crazy, because if he keeps seeing this and hearing this, he's gonna be like, oh, this is okay. This is how I'm supposed to act. You know what I mean? But
there's been many times that like 1 week he would come home from school and we're like, why is he doing that? He was doing this, like, he literally whines like a dog. Like he goes, like that. And I was like, we agree, like he's obviously learning this from school, like so many things that he's learning from school. So 100%. Yeah.
And if you kind of think about it, like as adults, it's like there was so much stuff going on in school that you would come back home and your mom or your dad or your parents together would never even know. But there was influences going on, you know what I mean? Like people smoking, people doing this, going out. And it's like you would come home and act a little bit normal, or maybe your mom might be like, yo, why you acting like this? But you're just being influenced by what you're seeing at school or who you're hanging around, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, it's important for us to have like kind of set the tone so he knows like not to do certain things, you know what I mean?
And you know, like, okay, we're gonna get into all that. We are gonna get into
all that. Yeah, we'll get all back into that. But
anyways, let's just
go
rewind.
back. Yeah, so
we went to the car and I gave Star a snack and his iPad, and he watched a movie, and whatnot. And then Bull's done his run now.
Yeah, and I come back to the car. He's completely normal. He has a 70s afro, hair picked out. he's like just completely different. He's the old star. You know what I mean? He just has some life. He's jumping from the front seat to the back seat. He's talking. I'm like, okay. All right, cool. We're going to go get some food. We go get food now. Everything's completely normal, but it's his nap time. Like, he's tired.
And this is on us too, because it's like we shouldn't be like taking our son out during nap time.
Yeah,
but,
you know, schedule and routine. Then she's like, off of what happened the day before, she's like if he was tired, like you think he would ever like fall asleep in a setting like this? Like, look at him, you know? And I'm like it's like different settings. It's a little bit closed. It's closed right now. You know, he doesn't have enough time to roam, whatever. And then 10 minutes after her saying that, he's like putting his head on like the edge of the table like this, and like popping back up. He's like, ow, like, you know, but he's moving like delirious, you know. He's like, sucking on his food, and she's like, he's gonna fall asleep. Then he puts his head like this, boom, falls asleep at the table, food in his mouth. In a restaurant that's loud, people are talking, and I'm like, look, like, you know what I'm saying? The exact same thing. So she had to like literally like pick him up and have him on her shoulder while she's eating, and he's just there, just like knocked out, still trying to like eat his food. When he's like past that point of tired, like his nap time's at 12. If he doesn't sleep till like 3 o'clock or whatever it is, he's beyond tired, so he's bound to crash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So anyways, so that happened. So basically, that was on Saturday, and then on Sunday,
That was Sunday. No, that was Sunday.
Oh, that was Sunday. Okay,
Yeah.
So basically, the moral of the story is that I don't think anything was wrong with Star that day at the mall. I was convinced, and I was like Googling a lot of things, and I was like it was just so out of character, and like as a mother, like that was a parent's worst nightmare to see that. But like for me in the moment, I wasn't thinking like, oh yeah, he's tired, because again, he was just having so much fun. Like he was laughing and chasing, like it was like a switch. Like I said, I did do some Googling about like kids that get sick, and then kind of like the aftermath of it and how they just turn into monsters. So that is what we're dealing right now. Star basically whines about everything. He cries for everything. It's mainly towards me. Now me and Bull are just trying to figure out the best way to deal with this and handle this, because we have two different views on this situation.
Comment down below if you're a parent, how you handled it when your child was showing bratty tendencies.
Having temper tantrums, lashing out, crying.
This is the reality of being a parent.
Yes.
There's so much stuff behind the scenes that happen. You could show the good side of being a parent, and it's like, oh, you have such a cute baby and a nice family, and you guys do this and that. But then there's like a whole other side, which is like our day-to-day. Like you guys might see us on Instagram or might see a YouTube video, and we're showing you like the highlights and us showing a good time. But then there's the other side as well, like where it's 12 a.m. and we all had a long day and we're tired and we have to wake up early, and our son is screaming in the room beside us. You know what I mean? Like who wants to go to the room and get him? You have to talk like we're tired. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or even her, like I'm out on a run and she has to deal with him being bratty, not wanting to brush his teeth or do this or whatever it is. Like there's so much that goes into being a parent.
And then not only that,
yeah,
also you and your partner are like, you guys may not see eye to eye on things. You guys may not understand each other in the moment. So there needs to be like tons of conversation, tons of communication, and like just trying to meet each other in the middle. Like, it's tough. You're gonna argue like 100%.
There's gonna be differences, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's tough. It's definitely not easy. This is just the reality of it. Let us know how you handle it if you're a parent, what tricks or things you guys do with the kids, or how you got through these times, or how long it lasted for you and how bad it got.
Right now it's bad.
Yeah, it's tough because
it's gotten
like
better.
She said, like it's more towards her and not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's like, it's very tough. You know what I mean? Because I'm more of the hard, stern kind of guy. So, and then she's like, oh my gosh, my baby, and so loving and so caring. But then she gets the shit end of the stick.
But I can be stern with him, but this kid literally ignores me. He does not listen to me. Like, he has to get to the point of crying to finally listen to me from his dad being like, go see your mom and go get dressed, you know? And then it's like tears. Yeah. And it's like, he's making it hard on himself. I don't know if he realizes that. But anyways, my new method is I'm just ignoring his tantrums and trying to talk him through it. And then he kind of ends up like just doing what I asked him to do once he realizes he's not going to get what he wants. Because even like for the last few months or like while, like the last year, I realized myself that like I was in this like just going through the days and not actually like taking a step back and realizing like, yeah, like I do give him like me just being nice and never saying no to him really technically and just giving him everything. He's now like taking advantage of that. And like now when you say no, it's like he wants a snack, okay, you get a snack, you know? But like now it's like, no, you don't need a snack at 7 a.m. Like you don't need a granola bar.
And there's even like if you really want to like dig deep into it as well, it all comes down to like little things that turn into bigger and bigger habits. So it's like, for example, like she might be busy literally with work, planning an event, doing an invoice for somebody, and I'm not home, and Star's like at her leg, pulling her leg, and all he wants is a snack in the kitchen because he knows where his snacks is.
All he wants to do is just play.
Whatever it is. And the easy thing to do is give him the remote, put on Miss Rachel or put on Netflix, or go to the kitchen, get him a snack, put in a bowl, and then sit him on the couch. You know what I mean? And it's like, instead of just saying no and spending time with him, it's like, here, just take the snack. So he got into the habit of just, okay, this is all I have to do. Yeah. Grab my mom's leg, I get a snack. Point here, I get a snack, I get a snack. So now when he's hearing no, it's like, what do you mean no? For the longest time, you've been giving it to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's literally habits. It's a routine, you know what I mean? Kids are smarter than what we think, you know what I mean? Because there's been plenty of times where he might bang his head hard or hit himself hard, and he gets up and he's perfectly fine. And we're like, oh my gosh, this guy's tough. And then something like this might hit his hand. And if you're like, oh my gosh, Star, are you okay? He might, and start crying, you know what I mean? Because he knows, you know what I'm saying? If you give him that attention and make something seem bigger than what it is, he's gonna act more like a baby. But if you don't pay him no mind, sometimes he might fall and be like, yo, don't say nothing. He'll just get up, like, oh, okay, yeah.
I feel like I'm good with that too, though. Like when he falls, I feel like I'm not, unless he like really, really hit his head or like hurt himself, then I'll like baby him.
Yeah, no, you're doing
like,
better now for sure.
I feel like I definitely do good with that.
But he's smarter than what we think, and he takes advantage of things.
Yes.
When she goes into his room when he's crying, he's like, my mom might stay in here and just cuddle with me the whole time. So that's who I want to see. You know what I mean? But then when he sees me pop up in the room, he's like, whoa, what is this guy doing here right now? Like, yo, go back to sleep, sir. He goes back to sleep. If his mom, if she goes in there and then she tries to get up and leave, boom, he pops up crying. You're not leaving me. I'm used to you staying in this room with me and falling asleep with me sometimes, you know? Or bring me into your guys' room.
And another thing is that now he's waking up throughout the night and crying. And we have to get on the camera and be like, Star, go back to sleep. Remember the one night, it was so bad. He kept waking up. And we're just like, I literally went in there at one point and he lost his marbles. He literally lost his mind. He wanted out of the room screaming. And then that's when I knew that the situation at the movie theater was just him being tired because he did the same kind of like noise. So yeah, he's just really, really acting out right now. So if you guys have any advice for us, just comment down below. We're just gonna try to stick to our routine. Kids go through things.
So that's about it. You know what I mean? That was the March break, and that's how parenting is going right now, the Star update.
You guys want to hear more about our dilemmas? Comment down below. We'll do a video on it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for watching.
Peace and love.